Hey, what's going on, YouTube?
Hi.
We're here. We're gonna talk about some paranormal experience we've had in our new home that we have acquired here. It was actually a rebuild. They knocked it down and rebuilt it. The foundation was here since the 50s, so might be some crazy stuff going on, might not be, but you know, we have no explanation for the stuff that's been happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and let my beautiful fiance start it off, and y'all may recognize her from all her other videos.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. To begin, like you said, the foundation was built not built, but the first home that was here was in the 1950s. Um, and so I was asleep one night and I hear a noise, and it kind of wakes me up out of my sleep, but I recognize noise. It sounds like one of the chairs being moved around. And when I hear that, I hear either someone. It sounds like either someone. You know how a chair creaks when either someone's getting out of it or sitting in it. I hear it move, and then I hear someone either getting out of it or sitting in it. And I wake him up, and I tell him. I said I heard something in the kitchen, like somebody sitting in a chair. He's like, oh no, it's probably the dog. And I said, no, Mikey. I said, it's somebody. It sounded like somebody in a chair. I could tell the difference between the dog and that. And he's like, okay, well, I made him go check. He made sure, the doors are locked. Everything. And he said everything was fine. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to take that and, go with it. I just went to sleep that night. So
a couple days later, we had just went to sleep. Kim knocks out real quick, and I was still awake. So I hear, like, in our kitchen we have a giant 40 pound bag of dog food up against the wall. So I start hearing like a bag being dragged across the floor, and so I'm like, hey babe, did you hear that? She's like, huh? What? I was like, did you hear that? So she went back to sleep. So I got up and I go to the kitchen, turn on the light, and the bag of dog food was like in the middle of the floor. So I really didn't think much of it. I sort of just picked up the food and put it back. I was like, oh well, maybe she just grabbed it. Maybe she just moved it closer so she could feed the dogs or something. I don't know. Which was strange.
Well, and you didn't see it there earlier that day.
No, and I didn't see it there earlier during the day. It was just really weird.
No reason why we would have it out in the middle of the floor so we could chip on it.
Exactly. So I moved the bag, came back to bed. I was like, babe, did you move the dog food? She was like, sure. And she went back to sleep. So I was like, oh, whatever. So I went to sleep, woke up the next morning. I asked her, hey, did you move dog food? She was like, dog food? No, I didn't move no dog food. Why would I move the dog food? So I was like, oh, well, I have no idea how it got to the middle. So maybe I'd say probably about a week later, Kim's getting ready for school. We wake up, I help her take her stuff. I don't have to be at work for another hour, so I was like, yeah, let me knock out for a little bit. So I knock out, I wake up, I go to the bathroom, get out of the bathroom, and I walk into the kitchen, and the microwave's running. It's just like solid bars, and it's just going. It won't stop. I'm hitting cancel, I'm hitting off, whatever. I pull the plug it back in, lights up normal, it's blinking 12. Walk back out, come back into the kitchen to get some water. Boom, it's on again. Yeah, solid line. I'm like, okay. So I unplug it, I leave it unplugged, plug it in the next day to use it, and it's working fine. Hasn't done anything since. So, babe, what was it, like a month later?
Yeah, a month later. It was about a month later. I believe it was Memorial Day weekend, our engagement party. And a couple of his friends came from out of town, so we decided, to go do something. And two of our friends stayed behind because they didn't have their IDs with them.
And they were just a little intoxicated, but not one of them was intoxicated.
The other one didn't want to leave them alone.
So
So we went ahead and was like, okay, well, you could just stay here, watch movies, whatever. And we get back, and Mikey tells me this later. He didn't tell me that night, but
No.
we came home, and one of our friends told him.
So Chris, she goes, "Hey, so when you guys left, like, what's going on in your house?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Yeah, the light started flickering. Then the TV, we were in the middle of watching a movie, and the TV got all staticky, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it off, so I had to unplug everything." She's like, "Then the lights kept flickering on and off." She's like, "I had to turn off all the light switches. I didn't know what was going on." I was like, I don't know. That's weird. We don't have no electrical problems. Nothing like that's happened since. That's probably been like a month or two since that happened, and nothing like that's happened. I mean, I don't know if there's just like a friendly spirit just messing with us, or what the deal is, but just little quirky stuff has been happening.
Yeah. So, our dogs haven't been going crazy or anything.
Like,
so, I mean, I'm pretty sure if it was anything malicious or bad, they would let us know. So, it's been okay. No worries.
No, I mean, we have no fear of the spirit world, so I mean, like, if as long as it's not a bad spirit, I don't mind living with them.
Yeah,
it's all good.
All good. So, that's our story for tonight, and if you would like to hear any more, we do have more. And at his dad's, it's like a field for the spirit world. So he has quite a few pictures where he's got orbs. One of them where he's got like kajillion orbs, and if you zoom in on them, you can see their faces. Like it's weird. And we did have a picture with all of us in it before his brother went off for the military a couple months back, where it's an orb in it, and it was kind of pretty weird. We'll tell you about that one.
Story behind that one.
Yeah. So if you guys would like to hear it, just hit us up and let us know. We'll answer you back. Bye.
Toodles.